This is Brian Diaz with Score More Credit, and this is the truth about your credit scores. All right, so here's you. Your little angel. And here are the blockhead credit bureaus. I just call them blockheads because they're really just servers, they're databases. I don't have anything personal against them. They're just running a business, just trying to make a living. All right, so these are the credit reporting agencies. And here is your nerdy little lender. You. Okay. So you want to get a loan. You want to apply for, you apply for a loan, okay? So you ask the lender, hey, can I get some money? And he says, well, I don't know. I'd like to see how your payment history's been. So he contacts the credit reporting agencies and he asks for some information. Can I see your payment history? Credit reporting agencies send back a whole bunch of data, little lines and numbers and all that, and what the heck does that mean? Don't know. In this day and age, since everybody has credit, there'd be a whole lot of information on that data. So they needed a way to figure out so that they could just take a look at something and say this person is a good risk or a bad risk. So they came up with the Fair Isaacs Corporation actually came up with the first scoring model. It's my understanding is Fair Isaacs was the first one anyway, but it's the one everyone uses now. Okay, it's called the FICO scoring model. So what happens is the lender applies for the data through the credit reporting agencies. They actually use like an intermediary. All right. So this is let's say a mortgage company. They might use a intermediary like Credit Plus or Kroll Factual Data, whatever the case is. They just basically pull the data through this service. Okay. So let's say it's I don't know. We'll just call it Credit Reporting Company. The lender applies for the credit through the credit reporting company, who purchases the data through the credit reporting agencies, and that data is first filtered through FICO. Okay. FICO actually takes that data and using their equations, payment history, the mix of the credit file, the number of inquiries, all the little factors that make up a credit score. They run it through the little processors. They come up with a score, and they print it out. And here's your FICO score, 720. Okay, so based on that number, that lender is now able to give you an interest rate, payments, how much you'd be approved for, etc. So the credit bureaus themselves actually have no say as far as whether or not you get the loan and at what rate. They're just providing data. FICO is the only company that they actually use, that every major lender actually uses in order to give you an approval or denial based on just a number. Okay. But as a result, FICO, the credit reporting agencies saw how much money that FICO is making just for having this little scoring model. So what they did is to further convolute and distort exactly what's happening behind the scenes with the whole credit reporting process and how it works and everything, because not like everybody was confused enough. They decided they were going to actually go directly after the retail consumer themselves and sell their own scores. So no one knows that FICO is really, majority of people don't know that FICO is really the only score that anybody cares about. So FICO's scores range from 300 to 850. TransUnion came out with their own model called TransRisk, which also happens to range from 300 to 850. I don't think that's coincidental. I think that just goes to show how they're trying to mimic FICO scores as much as possible so that you as a consumer don't know what it is that you're buying. So when you apply for a free credit at freecreditreport.com, that's actually Experian with their plus score. So when you ask for that free credit report and they say, hey, would you like to purchase your scores? Well, you're not buying as a FICO score. What you're buying is a plus score, which is Experian's own version of the scoring model, which ranges from 330 to 850. Again, eerily similar to the FICO score. Credit Expert is a service provided by Intersections and Privacy Guard. Again, it's just their own scoring model, eerily similar to FICO. Coincidence. Wow. There's been other ones in the past. Vantage was the three bureaus, I believe. I think it was all three of them together. Was their attempt to try to take over FICO's monopoly on the scoring situation. It failed miserably. It was a big lawsuit. They only recently dropped it. Experico was another one. You can see why these failed, because they didn't closely mimic the FICO score enough. The ones that are sticking around today are the ones that mimic the FICO score fairly closely. So when I say don't buy a credit report or don't pay for your scores through any of those other websites, TransUnion, Experian, what have you, I say that because those scores are completely worthless. You're wasting your money. There's really only one place where you can buy your score, the same score that the lenders would see, and really the only score that you're going to care about, and that's through myfico.com. Now, MyFICO has a very confusing website with a whole lots of products on there. So to make it easy for you, where you want to go is is.gd/9PEX. Nice small little URL for you to be able to go right to the screen where you need in order to pull a one-time credit report or the annual credit report if you really want to keep an eye on it. It's not a bad idea. But it'll take you right to the screen where you can purchase your credit report with the actual FICO scores that the lenders will see. Again, all the other ones are worthless. If you're going to spend money, go to is.gd/9PEX. That's the truth about credit scores.